Time to act.
To Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your sister. Call Sumeru the Nation of Wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the God of Wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information. But, Paimon doesn't know the way to Sumeru City. Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of the Seven on it. That'll give us a way better view of things. Even if we can't see exactly where the city is, at least we'll be able to check for some smaller settlements nearby. Wait a second. Look! There's someone up ahead! Perfect timing! Now we can just ask for directions rather than wander around like, hey there! We're not from around, huh? Did they not hear Paimon? Hey! You over there! Could you give us some directions?
Huh?
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Wait! Could she be ignoring us? How dare she? Well, even so, she might be heading someplace where when we get the chance, we'll just ask someone else for directions. Come on, let's follow her. Just keep quiet. Make sure she doesn't notice us. Huh? She just walked near that small waterfall and then suddenly vanished. Paimon thought this cave would lead to a village or something. But, look, she's sitting over there. Wait, what should we do now? Do we try asking her for directions? It looks like she's meditating or something. If we bother her now, she probably wouldn't let us off very lightly. Oh! What a lovely smell! It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. What? Is the smell What's happening? Traveler? It's not serious. The Traveler's been out for a long time now.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says it'll be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh! Are you awake now?
Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at... Good question. Where are we? Paimon was in such a panic when you passed out that she even forgot to ask what place this is.
This is Gandharvaville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operations. My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here. Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything, really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more. Whoops!
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these. I'll get it for you once I am finished here. Now, the guide to Avidia Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board, but if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure to charge him accordingly. So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He is chief officer over all the rangers here in Gandharvaville.
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain it for you as well. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training in meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as Spirit Borneal to help calm their minds as they enter a state of deep rumination. In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was the Spirit Borneal I just mentioned. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one. Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences, or did you see anything while unconscious? Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir. Now get a move on and be sure to do as I've said.
Yes, Master Tainari.
Wait, hold on a second. Can you tell us what's going on?
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, It appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharvaville for further observation while you recuperate.
Further observation?
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand the gravity of the situation once I explain everything to you. Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state is not in the best of shape. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Ooh,
You're experiencing a similar... So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you... The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen to you again, I'm afraid you might not be so lucky. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least... Good. Now, continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
seriously? We just arrived in Sumeru and we're already having problems left and right. Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really don't look too good. It'd probably be best to let you recover first. Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worrying about you, you know. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. If he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? But if that's the case, why would he try to hide that from us? Oh, Paimon... Well, that settles it then. But it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think? Good idea. Kale's... Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
All right, next let's see your right hand. Not bad. But please remember that you still need to be careful,
Yes, I will. By the way,
Look, Kale,
But I have a vision too!
don't talk like that, Kale. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we...
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the statue of the Seven.
Tainari, we're ready to head out.
Got it! I'll be right there! All right.
Yes, you can...
So, Kale, what if Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but...
Well, forest rangers responsibly handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the rainforest. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to the Statue of the Seven. Paimon, Traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual. Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones. Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make it... no problems with this lamp. Good. The Statue of the Seven is up on top of that... It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you don't clean the statue. Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then.
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those. By the way, Kale, do you know?
That depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, or...
Huh? Great. Oh, is that the...
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred years ago. According to what Masters told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Siristana.
Uh-huh. Then...
Well, and then...
Huh? You're not...
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru.
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case, then don't worry. We understand.
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't consider you two strangers. Because you two know Amber, right?
Wait, Amber? You mean...
Yes, that's her. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and... sorry.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but one thing's for sure. You really like Amber.
Sorry. I was rambling on just now. It must have sounded kind of weird.
It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've met Amber?
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up.
Ah, so that's how you knew.
Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust, really. I wish I could tell you more about the Dendro Archon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or the Sanctuary of Surasthana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Dendro Archon? So that's why you're here. Thank you.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all.
You both have my thank...
Huh. Now that Paimon looks at it, the deity that's carved on the statue is kinda small. Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? You might be right. The statue does look kinda old. Well, anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. Let's get started on cleaning the statue. meet up with Kale. Kale, we're back!
Welcome back! You must be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little break. I brought some fruit and water for us.
Yay! Food! What kind of goodies did you bring? Hey! Don't be a party pooper! It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to compliment a chef is to show passion for their food.
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like... No! Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. Those pitas are amazing! You're quite the cook, Kale. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how to... Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime.
Yay! Thanks, Kale! It's hard to believe...
Oh!
So, Kale, don't you think that Tainari's a little too strict with you? He won't let you touch anything without his permission. Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy moments.
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature. But Master is actually very kind at heart. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called... Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, inviting him to take up an official position there. But Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. I know. Anyway, Master could have easily left the rainforest to take up a position at the Academia, but he chose to stay here instead, helping them. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Oh, speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. He even carried you all the way here. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little, but it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why, is he going to die? It probably started to get
Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you. Hey! Now even Kale's starting to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this! It's time for some Paimonial wrath!
No! Don't touch me!
Oh, sorry, Kale.
No, I just...
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm... I'm fine. I'm so... Oh, well, it's getting late.
Huh? What was up with Kale just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden?
Body and mind. Ah, Traveler. You've returned.
Yep, we're back!
Oh, Kale?
Oh, okay.
Time to act. Body and mind. Oh my god.
Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Tainari? What are you doing here? Where's Kale?
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
You mean she's sick? How could she be... Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of...
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been dealing with for some time. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for...
So, Tainari, what's real...
Let's take this
Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go check on her.
All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Well, because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was... but she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tainari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on affected areas of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral pain. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What?
It appears you already are familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Kale's been through so much suffering.
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led her to break down this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and though I must admit that she was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. All right, now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find something.
Yeah, we'd like to do...
All right, but I must warn you two.
No problem!
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as the Nilotpala lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilotpala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. The Nilotpala lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take the Cowpelata, for example. The plant...
Oh, okay then. Note to Paimon. Never bring up the topic of flowers with Tainari.
There should be Nilotpala lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that will rendezvous here once...
Body and mind.
All right, we've gathered enough Nilotpala lotuses. Let's head back to meet Tainari. Hey, Tainari! We found the lotuses you requested.
Let me have a look. I'm glad you two came along.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling your name.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? Let's go find out what's going on.
Body and mind.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already cleared just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading. So we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar. There's a unique type of anomaly. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't, as Amir said, only someone with a vision. That is, the power to manipulate elements.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the... Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone, but you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using the power of the elements. Don't sweat it. We've helped others deal with similar situations before.
Wait, you've met other forest rangers before? I was planning to properly show you both how to identify the withering before you left Gandharvaville. Anyway, since you two are experienced adventurers...
Time to act.
Hey, look! That gloomy area over there looks like a withering zone. Even though Paimon's seen one before, it's still kinda scary.
All right, Traveler. We're about to enter the withering zone. Since you already have experience dealing with these things, you should already know what to do. But please remember, don't push yourself. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter... You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Time to act.
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Time to act. Rain outlines your fate. Boom boom! Time for your arraignment! Incinerate!
Come a little closer.
Now! Destroy the tumor of the withering!
We did it!
Yes. Thanks to you two, we were able to quickly restore this area back to normal.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does Paimon have the feeling you're worried about something?
It's that obvious, huh? Alright. It's like this. Recently, the rate at which withering zones appear has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that withering zone, it won't be long before another one appears. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far... For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife that depends on those plants. And most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase, Kale's case of Elazar has also become more serious.
Huh? Well, why's that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions. No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. Oh, by the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense, you can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times to present day. The Dendro Archon is known as the god of wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's familiars a long time ago, but even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the Withering Zones here for a long time, until a cure is found. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville.
Why not keep me company for a while? There'll be plenty of time for work later.
Tainari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh? Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget? So did something happen?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... Well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? But wait, how'd you...
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsol's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all, though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Tevat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Ruka Devata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was a part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsul itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her, and she'll answer any questions you may have. No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Total of 5 dusk birds flew by.
It's nearly time for afternoon tea.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area. Hypatia, are you alright?
So hungry.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try... Huh? Wait. How'd things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh, maybe you're right. Wow, this place is huge! I knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Body and mind. Let me weave you a verse. Time to act. No, my sword! A minor setback.
You're in for a little shock.
Time to act. Body and mind.
Let's spark things up a little.
Look at you, Boozle!
Witness the power of footwork. Huh?
What is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
better.
You're in for a little shock. You're in for a little shock.
Motion to compel.
Rain outlines your fate.
Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We faced others like him before! What's wrong this—
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes, the bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will...
What do we do? Oh, there she is! Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Are you— Anyways, we can talk about this— Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia.
I see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this—
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some—
Oh. I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from—
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some—
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irmin's soul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly knew, in my curiosity, it wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they—
Oh! And then?
And then I had a dream. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter— Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... And all right, we're up, traveler.
Sounds good.
All done. Let's use the empty box that Tainari gave us since we already watched it. Oh, it smells amazing. And the box is a nice touch, too. Let's go serve this...
Are you already finished cooking? Even though everything you mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. You should know that some researchers spent their—
So why does this incense...
The ingredients used to make Spirit-Born Ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers naturally. Anyone who can establish a connection—
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. What...
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload. Taking in any sense similar to the ingredients of Spirit-Born Ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry, though. It appears technically your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon. But unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spirit... I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life,
Whoa, you're really serious.
As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection, which is why I must turn to the... If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without... That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure...
Whoa, so knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Don't you ever feel afraid of the...
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I believe that being able to... But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And...
What's so strange about that? It does...
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Huh.
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, But that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with the fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia. But then, on the day I scared the little... It was incredible. Though I don't... Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be. But I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't... just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sum...
So, do you have any thoughts about the things...
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that... if only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. If you two are ever in the area again, please be... There's no need to be thanked.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright, and...
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher, and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering. As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly
Keep your emotions in check, Ghulam. Let's at least listen to...
Sage Kage, I am merely a forest watcher.
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on...
I see. Well, I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort.
And what exactly does my master need of me?
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
And, how long...
There's...
Do you mean to tell me that, despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite...
Tainari, but you...
So be it. Come, Ghulam, we're leaving.
Tainari, what was that?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's...
Very good. Now that the Traveler has made a full...
That's right! We want to meet Lesser Lord...
Sorry, I'm afraid...
Well, do you at least know it?
Let me think... Oh, how about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to... Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this item is the very... Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! That's right! Tainari, we have something
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, she knew you two would be leaving soon.
Thanks, Tainari. All right.
Farewell. And good luck.
I've been waiting for you two. Well,
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to some...
don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of... And, but I guess now I understand that the...
There's no need to apologize, Kale. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's...
Thank you. That means a lot.
Oh?
It's my recipe for pita pockets.
Yay! Thanks.
I hope that whenever you eat them, well then,
Sumeru City! Oh, did you see that? When those people entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia... Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's after centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal. As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha Terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about. It sounds pretty amazing.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed. Here are your Akasha terminals. To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following...
Oh, says this little doodad lets you access knowledge. Maybe we can use it to... May the might... Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know.
Exactly. That is the... And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusa. 500 years ago, the sage... Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Oh, come on! Paimon's brain is exhausted. Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it? Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. You too? Huh. Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just... Well, he's from Sumeru and even has a... Let's see. Tainari wrote an address on the letter's envelope. Oh, it's not far from the city's gate. Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me.
Great! You see,
What? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last...
Here, this is a...
Oh, let me see. Seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procure...
We want to meet with Leslie...
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? Sorry.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information?
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly... All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru...
Huh. Didn't expect her
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
Aw, but...
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could... And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see... In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha, and things you can... Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tainari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year. Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me. Hey, come on!
Oh, Paimon, so what do we do now? Even if we... Huh? Like who? Oh, you're right!
Ad Astra Abyssal.
Catherine, we need your...
Understood. The adventurers...
We want to meet with Lesser Lord...
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Arch... I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha.
Aw, another dead end.
Please do not worry. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are They take on various contracts and work an Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30.
Corps of 30?
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, if you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him. You're welcome.
All right, off to the Citadel of Razor we go!
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you to.
It's nice to meet you, Asfand.
I see. So, Kath... Ha. It's true that the Eremites' network is vast.
Wait, serious?
Afraid so. The Eremites... We originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own 2 hands to carve out a living. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me,
Oh? Why's that?
just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe in gods, in their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru. And because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance.
Really? Aw.
But who knows?
All right, well...
No pro...
Seems Asfand was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it. We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumeru. But the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person?
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself.
Whoa, really?
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend. Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless. The man journeyed across death. In despair, he thought, alas.
Okay, and then what?
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man, at that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the dead. Oh, Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you. Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass.
Yeah, thanks for the story. Paimon.
In a way.
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord...
Of course. So did... I'm terribly sorry, but it...
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened? It looks like there's...
Hey, have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress?
Did she have...
Yes, that's her.
Yeah, she went... that...
Quick, after her!
You might have been long gone.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there. Uh-oh, looks like there's...
Huh? More of them?
No, wait, my body isn't in the best Okay, sounds good.
All right, let's move out.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait! Stand down, Dia!
My lady, who are these two?
They're travelers that I met on the street.
I see. In that case...
Wait a sec! Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and... My lady, let's get going.
And if
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But...
Hey! Dunyarzad already...
Stay out of this. Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard...
How much?
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you?
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. That's why I'm here looking for you. And knowing your health, carelessly running...
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits, and I know and I know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. I still won't... And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, because she saved me. This is my life, and my last chance.
My lady, are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Fine, I won't ask you to return. But let me make something very clear. I'm only...
Thank you, Dia. Sorry for being...
Don't worry about it. Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate... Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need some... So,
I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an
I'm fine.
My lady, stop.
I'm sorry for worrying you too.
Sure! After you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ha! Well, if it isn't, word on the street is that you're a...
Nah, you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it. Huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani...
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
Wait, we're paying for ourselves now?
How about our charcoal-baked Agelena cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
They look kind of burnt and dry. Paimon will pass. What do you have against my slime dishes? Dunyarzad, we asked a lot of people when we first arrived.
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't...
Huh?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year. I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find... My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi... Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. Who are you? How do I explain this? Really? Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder. That you hate taking medicine every morning. Wow. Dunyarzad, is there anything you want? Want? Not really. I can't go anywhere or do anything. Huh? But aren't you a child? All children have wishes. Tell me what you want. Then, can you make my illness go away? Oh. Then...
After that, the voice... Although my body was suffering during those days, beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming. But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Teyvat. Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world. That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today.
What's the...
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday, which was the day that she was found by the sages. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the Lesser Lord's birthday. I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. In those days, the festival was a huge deal. But because of the Academia's influence, people have gradually The Academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Sub-Zero's festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it doesn't exist. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord...
Aww.
It is. It's sure the Greater Lord founded Sumeru, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting...
Just remember that we're still out in public.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sub-Zero's festival to this day. But I hadn't. But recently, I made a friend there who I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival.
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilu?
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face.
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much more prepared. So I've agreed with Nilu to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today.
Sure, that's quite the trip, though.
No, that would be too much.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us.
But of course, Nilu will be thrilled. Sorry I'm late, Nilu.
Oh, Dunyarzad. It was taking you so long that I assumed... Uh-oh. But if Dia's here, that means you got caught, right?
You could say that.
Oh.
Oh, meet the Traveler and Paimon, my two newest friends.
So you're followers from another land? Oh, really? Well, that's okay. You're still... By the way, Dunyarzad, we've already started decorating the Grand Bazaar. It looks spectacular. Thanks to your generous contribution.
You're very welcome. It's the only thing
Probably? But don't sweat it. We've already finished renovating the stage. Come on, I'll show you.
Wow!
Not bad. Last time I was here, the stairs were full of holes.
The stairs were nothing. A little while ago, we discovered that the tree above the stage had a huge chunk of bark ready to fall off. Mr. Zup, we reported it to the academia many times, but they never sent anyone to...
Oh, probably because it was the theater asking.
The academia looks down on performers like us. We can't let that happen, though. Not only would everyone involved in the theater go hungry, but then we wouldn't be able to hold the Sub-Zero's festival anymore. Thank the Dendro Archon for Dunyarzad. But the more she gave us, the stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival.
And I can't wait to see you on the stage. You've been practicing.
It's our dream. I'll do my best for the two of us.
Nilu, what are you gonna be doing at the festival?
She'll be dancing the dance of Sub-Zeros. The most...
Dunyarzad, have you told him the origin of this holiday?
I only told them about the Greater Lord and Lesser Lord so far.
Okay. Then I'll tell you two about how this holiday came to be. According to legend, the Sub-Zeros festival was originally the goddess of... A long, long time ago, some of the gods got drunk. One started as she danced upon the grass. Those brilliant purple flowers became her dazzling stage. Of course they did. When people mention the gods, although they aren't around anymore, they're preserved in our tradition of dance. Though we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day.
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon. I also noticed that you went the extra mile and scattered Patisaras around.
They symbolize the goddess of flowers.
Yeah. The Greater Lord...
Thinking about the goddess of flowers dance makes me wish I could have... If my stage were anything like that... I'd be thrilled if I had just 2 real Patisaras on the stage. So, travel...
All of Lesser Lord Kusanali's...
Ooh, Paimon thinks that's a great idea! Of course Paimon wants to watch. Those two things...
So how about we all attend the Sub-Zeros festival together?
Dunyarzad, let me everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're all looking forward to the Sub-Zeros festival.
In that case, we'll take a look around.
Whoa! Did you labs, Eris. Loads of fun things to do at the fest.
Huh. I don't know much about the Grand Bazaar, but oh, and the perfume sold around here is a lot better than what you'll find elsewhere. I mean, that's,
Things are real. Don't be fooled into things. And when it comes...
Ah, as a child, my grandmother Sub-Zero.
Nilu, you're out.
Wow, did you? Uh-huh. Sewing is a fun... I've noticed that you can't keep your... Of course.
Hey! Is that who Paimon thinks it is? It looks like... Catherine! Huh. Come to think of it, Paimon's only ever seen her behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild. This is the first time we've ever seen her taking a break. Hey, Catherine!
Hmm? Oh, hey! It's the traveler...
Whoa. Break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual. Paimon was still waiting for her to say Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Sure. Standing behind the counter at the event, but saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get pretty monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie day after day. But take you two, for example. You travel across Tevat to enrich your lives and gain new experiences.
Well, we enjoy traveling across Tevat and all that, but we're mainly looking for clues about his sister.
Yes, you should keep searching. Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't necessarily at our intended destination. Instead, they're found along the way.
Huh. Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently? Anyways, what brings you out here, Catherine?
No, not particularly. I guess you could say that I'm loving the recent atmosphere. Oh.
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventurers Guild. Oh,
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already...
There's something...
Hey, traveler.
Oh, hey, Dia.
I've got something to tell ya. My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord.
Are you serious?
It might not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much. I'll need to take you two somewhere and ask someone some questions. My lady is feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu...
Sounds like a... Let's head over to the Citadel.
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the master and mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only sitting in the port for a while because she was in a bad mood. Anyway, I guess I should be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy.
You sure sound a whole lot nicer than when we first...
It's called being a professional.
Look, Dia's...
Listen, you... I don't expect to be working for Miss Dunyarzad very long, but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel. We'll see if the... Oh, hey, Chief.
Ha, Dia! What are you doing here? And well...
I take it you all know each other?
We met this morning after the Adventurers Guild pointed us to—
No kidding. Huh. So,
Rookshaw's gone over to the Academia. The Grand Sage recently ordered Sumeru City to begin bolstering its defenses, so people from all over have been called back. Since you've already mentioned the theft, I suppose.
appreciate it, Chief.
Theft?
Just recently, the Academia lost something, and there's a chance.
I suppose that's one. Let me fill you in. The Academia recently sent a convoy to pick. The Grand Sage took the whole matter very seriously. Not only did he dispatch the Matra, but also enlisted our help in the search for leads. All we know so far is that whatever was stolen is currently in Port Ormos.
You two have heard of Port Ormos, haven't you? It's the largest commercial port in all of Sumeru. You can travel there by leaving Sumeru City and heading south along the river. The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach all the way to Port Ormos, so the city's a little more laid back, meaning the population's also a mixed bag. You never know who you'll meet there.
Apparently what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha, knowledge, and even the gods. I'm afraid I don't have any other details for you, though. If you're interested, maybe you could head to Port Ormos and ask around yourselves. If you want my advice, try introducing yourselves as students of the Academia once you're there.
Are you serious, Chief? All the Academia students are in Sumeru.
If you're also...
Count me out. And take it from me. If you two really do decide to visit Port Ormos, you'd best watch your backs. Let's just say that the Eremites there aren't nearly as friendly as those here in Sumeru City. There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for King Deshret." Word is that more and more are joining their movement. They're becoming a real headache for...
You bet they are.
Not everyone's like you, Chief. Even the desert natives who abandon their homes in the wilderness still wish to have a god of their own. Well, Traveler, that's about all the information we have for you.
Thanks, Dia! And you too! Since we've gathered all we could for the moment in Sumeru City...
Miss Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Sub-Zeru's festival. So, be good. Then we'll see you both at...
Come and have a good look.
You've got a deal.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict, but does the core of 30 care?
Wow! Ooh. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going... Well, given all...
Welcome. Welcome. How can I help you two?
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question.
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City, many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the Academia. Sure, we may not be Sumeru... you see over there? Those are students from the Academia. They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need.
Those students...
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about King Deshret and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein el Ahmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the Academia. I've heard that Ein al-Hakmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for?
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't...
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious. So, what's our plan? Wait, didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us 500,000 mora! Oh, all right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot.
Out of all my commissions, I enjoy making jewelry for newlyweds the most.
He will pay the price one day.
This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat.
Oh, you've arrived. Please, take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of King Deshret, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of mora this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick mora?
Yeah, with boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is King Deshret, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when King Deshret exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Yeah, Paimon was what...
What's going on? How can there be Welcome.
Huh? Who are you? What do you want? A student? Huh. What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it? Huh?
Oh! Sorry! He must have grabbed the wrong amount! Hey, what do you think you're doing? Oh, Paimon can't stand it!
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right! We heard you mention King Deshret just now. We're actually...
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers. Years ago, King Deshret founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. King Deshret was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed King Deshret's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the... But the story doesn't end there, oh no. King, mark my words, if what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of King Deshret. I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Huh?
You again? Deranged Academia.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to listen to me, that address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring. Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the...
Hey! Shut it, Al-Haytham! What are you playing?
I told you the other day.
Ha! The boss made...
Yes, and in no uncertain terms.
I'm warning you.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, if, on the other hand, I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, I am quite confident that if I be... Also, a word of advice. Consider this. Have I ever...
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay, then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 Mora to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students. What?
Someone
who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us, plus, he seems to know a lot about... He went that way! After him! Wait up! It's Al-Haytham, right?
What do you want? No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed. We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them, since they weren't able to... All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still... Since you tore through their scam, right?
Who exactly are you two? A student. Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Huh? Oh, yeah! He's really strong.
He doesn't even have a vision.
Maybe not, but he can still use elemental. And those high-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring...
All right. I accept. Got a pen and paper? We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's
You were willing to part with 500,000 Mora for... Okay, look. If you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so...
We know it's connected academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get a hold of it too.
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because this is what you've been looking for.
Huh? Paimon can't...
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents. Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information.
That's,
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Now, in Port Ormos, meanwhile, those which the air... Well, I think that about sums it up. Oh, so that... With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer. You're still resolved. Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must... I need you to find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant. Unlike the peddlers who hawk inferior knowledge capsules, she often has quality. She's guarded against people from the Academia because I think she blacklisted me. I met with her informant, but it's become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task? You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. I'll give you... Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she...
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for Mora and a shrewd... I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her...
But we only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time!
That's true. Have you two heard of elemental sight? Oh? That's a surprise. Guess I'll have to hold you in higher regard. Anyway, that ability should resolve your issue. Here are 2 knowledge capsules. Tell me, can you detect any difference in their quality?
They look the...
Try inspecting them with
How'd it go? Did you see anything?
Rumor has it that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through elemental sight. That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. The more powerful the knowledge, the richer it is in Dendro energy. However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use. Using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure, but it should suffice for earning...
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password, and here is the Mora for purchasing canned. Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. If there's any Mora left over, just keep it. Oh, and be sure to exercise some caution. There have been Matra present in Port Ormos lately. Your efforts will be for naught if they catch you.
Matra?
They belong... The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back out... Okay, then we...
Looking at what Alhaitham wrote... Let's follow these instructions and try to get in contact with him.
Hello. What are you two looking to buy? What a unique palette.
Following the paper
Roanoke, these two want to buy...
Got it. You two, please follow me. You two have a fascinating fashion sense. We haven't seen a customer wearing a Sumeru rose for quite some time.
Hold on. Let me think. Sumeru rose means common merch. No, look again. We're obviously wearing morning flowers.
Every ship deserves the...
Ah, my mistake. I do apologize.
Whew. That pop quiz sure was scary.
Ah, the warehouse is up ahead. Please follow me. Before I retrieve your product, please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our hara fruits were taken by mice.
Hold on. That's not right.
Ah.
He's cautious of us. Let's take a
Before I retrieve... please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our hara fruits were taken by... Thanks. You look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
No, that's not it. The paper said that heat stroke is the answer to He's cautious of us. Let's take a close...
Before I retrieve... please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our hara fruits were taken by... Thanks. You look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
Yep, that's the right answer. But eating hara fruit that makes...
Would you like your hara fruits to be packaged in the Sumeru City or Port Ormos style? Wow, you two sure are generous customers. We'll be sure to package your product. Okay, everything has been confirmed. Miss Dory is waiting for you up at... Shoot, it's the Matra! Run!
What? The matcha? Where? All Hatham said we're done for if they catch us. We gotta get out of here. We don't know this area. He ran that way. Look, he's over there! Hey! If you're hiding from the Rishbaland tiger, come this way! Another password! Huh? Oh. Here, over here. You can stop running now. So you were the one who was calling out to us just now. But, are we definitely gonna be safe here?
These two good customers wish to buy some hara fruit, Miss Dory. And if there's nothing else...
Oh, very good. Huh? Wait, you're Dory? Hey, what are you trying to say, Princess Pea-Brain? But it seems you two have actually done pretty well so far. Not only did you manage to find the informant, your reactions were also pretty sharp. Paimon's not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment. I can't risk doing business with people who start huffing and puffing after just a few paces, no matter how much more they might have. Not only will they get caught by the Matra, but they'll also get us into trouble. So that's why it's your first time here, but
Don't worry, as long as you have lots of round, shiny Mora, then we're all good. Ah, yes, of course.
Wow, she has a trove of canned knowledge. Whew. She'd probably be in.
What kind of products do you seek, my? Take this one, for example. An analysis of the sociological ideology and dialectics of the Hilichurls. Only 3 people in all of Teyvat.
Yeesh. Who would want to be an expert in that topic?
Or how about the architect? With this one, you can become an expert in history.
Ooh, now this sounds
2 million Mora.
Whoa!
Of course, you are free to pick whatever.
All right, let's try the method that Alhaitham mentioned.
Ah, you've really got to.
We'll take these, please.
My, oh my, you are blessed with. Listen, I have a special offer for you two. If you spend just 100,000 more and more.
Say what now? Hey, did you hear that? Spend another 100K and we get a capsule worth a whole million! But all the canned knowledge we just bought, think about it. We've gone to all this trouble to get this canned knowledge. Aren't you even the least bit curious about how this whole canned knowledge thing works? We're talking instant knowledge here. Don't you want to try it yourself? Come on, come on. We still have around 100,000 of Alhaitham's Mora left. So let's put it to good use by finding something useful for you. Ahem, you've got a deal.
Excellent. Then please.
Hold on a second.
Oh, but my dear customer, the knowledge capsules over here are worth 1 million Mora each.
Uh-oh. Paimon has a bad feeling about this. Let's use Elemental Sight again to check these. So, what did you see? So, they're all worth about the same amount? Well, anyway, the Mora's already been spent, so let's at least try to find something useful. Let Paimon take a look here. An introduction to traditionals. Not sure we'd ever find volumes 1 through 7, but at least this knowledge should be useful, right? Let's go with this. Dory, we'll take this one.
All right, very good. I'm expecting some new goods in the next couple days, so be sure to check.
Our dealings with Dory went smoothly enough. Let's head to Wakala Funduk and meet up with Alhaitham. Hopefully now he'll finally tell us about what the Academia
I'll find
lost.
you your perfect color.
come a little closer.
Ha, you two made it. And from the looks on your faces, you were successful.
Whoa, there's so many people from the academia here. Why would you pick this place as our meetup spot?
Well, Wikela Funduk is under the academia's control, so naturally the academia has people working here. I came to Port Ormos under the pretense of conducting official business.
You're a pretty daring guy.
Relax. No one here is interested in anything we say, and the Matcher won't come here.
Okay, we did what you asked. So, can you tell us about the
Before that, I have to ask. Why are you two so intent on tracking it down? You don't...
Yeah, he just wants to meet the God of Wisdom and ask her about when we heard that the academia had lost something that might be...
In that case, a short while ago, the academia lost a knowledge capsule in the desert. It's supposedly a divine knowledge capsule.
Wow, there's really such a thing as that? Hey, if we find it, do you think we could...
I highly doubt it has any mystical properties, but it does indeed exist. And it's right here, in Port Ormos.
So, where exactly?
That's what we need to find out next. I won't deny that. I am investigating because I'm curious as to what the divine knowledge capsule truly is. As you know, the Eremites in Port Ormos also have their eyes on it. It is an extremely precious item. The knowledge contained within may bring great power or wealth to whoever has it in their possession. Several brigades have been vying for ownership of it as of late, but there is still no victor. My personal finances and connections cannot compete with those of the Eremites. After attempting various methods, I finally managed to reach a tentative agreement with several brigades. I agreed to forego ownership of the divine knowledge capsule in exchange for the opportunity to study it. After all, there's no harm in understanding what it is. However, there are those who are less amenable to negotiation, such as those from Ain al-Ahmar.
They adamantly believe that the divine knowledge capsule contains King Deshret's power, and that he will return to this world when they obtain it. They refuse to let anyone from the academia tarnish their deity's soul.
So you kept hounding them because they refused to cooperate with you?
Yes. Ain al-Ahmar isn't exactly wealthy, but its members are determined to get that capsule by any means necessary. To that end, they've resorted to many methods more foul than fair in order to amass sufficient funds. So, I've been sabotaging their business to force them into negotiating with me. The divine knowledge capsule should be up for a secret auction within the next few days. Each brigade will place their to ensure the capsule's security and to evade the Matra's notice. The winning brigade will not publicly disclose their victory. Unless I know whose hands the divine knowledge capsule ends up in, my agreements with them will fall through. Dory is the most reliable source of information, but that avenue was...
In other words, you wanted us to befriend Dory so you could find out where the divine knowledge capsule is?
Yes, you can say that. The day after tomorrow, go back to Dory and try to purchase information on the divine knowledge capsules. If I get the opportunity to study the divine knowledge capsule, I will relay my findings to you. Will that suffice as compensation? Okay.
Alhaitham, before you go, we actually bought a knowledge capsule for ourselves, but we're not sure how to use it.
You two want to try using a knowledge capsule? Sure, I can teach you. Doing so right under the academia's nose is a bit problematic, though. What do you say we head to the outskirts of town? All right. This place works. Show me the capsule you purchased.
Here.
Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Huh. A combat class knowledge capsule. This class is some...
Really? Aw, yeah, what a great buy!
If you want to determine the efficacy of this capsule, I can evaluate your combat ability. However, we can conduct a controlled experiment where you fight 2 battles. One before using... While you fight, we can use an Akasha. There may be variances in your physical strength between the 2 tests, as well as a disparity in...
Wow! Hey, them! Paimon's curious about something, though. You definitely weren't one of those students who needed canned knowledge to graduate from the...
When you are unable to understand a researcher's actions, most cases can be attributed to curiosity. This is but one theory.
Sounds like you're trying to avoid the question.
All right, let's begin the test.
To incinerate! Rain outlines your fate.
All right. I'll link your Akasha terminal to record data. The next step is to hold it in your hand. I'll help you establish...
Hey, how are you feeling? You mean that it worked?
All right. Time for round 2. Fight with the same composure as...
You?
You're in for a little shock. You're in for a little shock.
Rain outlines your fate. Time to act.
Now, I'll start recording data again.
Oh, hey, how's it go?
Well, the knowledge capsule you purchased did improve his combat capability. During the second fight, his overall fighting performance increased by 0.07...
Wait! How much? Dory's such a jerk! She totally scammed us!
Of course, this could be because he is so powerful that the capsule's contents were unable to... At the very least, this test allowed me to gain more insight into you two. Our deal seems increasingly worth my investment. I'm heading back to Ikela Funduk. I await your response in 2 days' time. This...
Let's see Dory today and ask her about where the divine knowledge...
Here, over here! Welcome back, my loyal patrons. You name it. Can knowledge, supplies, or anything.
Can you really?
Uh-huh. So it appears that canned knowledge alone is no longer sufficient for your opulent appetite. Then please oblige me. Oh! I knew customers would pop, but you know, after all, I had to work really hard to weasel.
But how can we be sure your information is...
Because to me, anything of value is what I consider to be my supply. As for the information's
History is sometimes even more exciting
Does this
than
make sense to you, Cece?
Trust me, I'll find you your perfect color.
Does this make sense to you, Cece?
Trust me, I'll find you your perfect color.
Body and mind. Time to act.
Does this make sense to you, Cece?
True history is sometimes even more exciting than legend.
Here, over here! Welcome back, my loyal patrons. What can I do for you this time? You name it. Can knowledge, supplies, or anything else you need. I'll find a way to get it. Where there's a waterfall of Mora, there's a way.
Can you really get us anything we want? Anything at all?
Uh-huh. So it appears that canned knowledge alone is no longer sufficient for your opulent appetite. Then please oblige me. Tell me what you have in mind. Oh! I knew customers with pockets as deep as yours would undoubtedly crave something more profound than ordinary canned knowledge. But you know, that kind of information isn't going to be cheap. After all, I had to work really hard to weasel my way into the auction site. Not to mention that if anyone found out that I was the leaker, I would be in big, big trouble.
But how can we be sure your information is accurate? Paimon's curious how you just happen to have this kind of info the moment we need it.
Because to me, anything of value is what I consider to be my supply. Therefore, I must always be aware of what's hot on the market in order to secure more sales. As for the information's authenticity, well, you've no need to worry about that. I used a camera to take a picture of the transaction. That way, no one can dispute it. It's always a pleasure doing business with such sterling patrons. Now that you've paid in full, here's the scoop. The Divine Knowledge Capsule was purchased yesterday by a certain Misery, the leader of Ain el Ahmar.
Ain el Ahmar? You mean the Eremites who worshipped King Deshret?
Ah, so you're already familiar with them. The group has done everything in their power to obtain the Divine Knowledge Capsule. After all, they believe it contains the power of King Deshret. That divine knowledge capsule is unlike any other canned knowledge I've seen before. It was glowing bright red. The capsule is clearly visible in the picture I took. You can look for yourself.
Thanks for the info, Dory.
Please, it's my pleasure. It's all thanks to discerning customers such as yourselves that my efforts yesterday were not in vain. Please, don't hesitate to contact me if you ever need anything else in the future. More effort, Dory, opens doors.
Well, we figured out where the divine knowledge capsule is. It turns out it ended up in the hands of Ain el-Ahmar.
I'll find you your perfect
Let's head back and talk to Al-Haytham.
Does this make sense to you, Cece?
True history is sometimes even more exciting than legend.
Wanted.
Really? All right. Let's hear it.
Dory even gave us evidence to verify the intel. Have a look.
Huh, look at that. Clear as day. It must have taken some guts just to infiltrate the scene of the Eremites transaction. But then, to get close enough... All right. The person in this picture is indeed Misery. In which case... if we play our cards right, when we confront them next...
At first, Paimon didn't get why you were provoking these Ain el-Ahmar. After we defeat them, we can finally have a serious talk.
Thank you for your time and efforts. Take a few days off while I make some preparations. Let's meet up again. See you then.
Al-Haytham sure is taking his time. Where could he be? Oh, there he is.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's head to the pier in front of Pharos Lighthouse.
Yep, look.
I thought Sumeru would be different, but nope, everywhere's the same.
Body and mind.
Al-Haytham. I knew you were crazy, but I didn't know you were crazy enough to actually show up.
It was I who demanded that these negotiations take place. I was more worried that you might go back on your promise. But to your credit, it appears that you're sticking to your word. This is turning into quite an occasion. I also brought some backup. I assume you don't mind.
Backup? Aren't you the brat from the restaurant the other day? You've come to support. I'm not going to mince my words. Once we're done with you, you'll be nothing more than fish food. Get 'em, boys!
Uh-oh, here they come.
Try not to enjoy this.
Can't handle your drink. Huh. Boom, boom.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Wrap up the flame.
Academia scum! Boss! Finally! Did you use it? Great! Now we can... Boss? Boss! What's wrong?
What happened to him?
We have to cut his Akasha connection, now.
Target acquired. Arrest him!
Do not impede our work. Is that understood, Al-Haytham?
Of course. I was only trying to help.
Take him away!
World, forget me. You won this.
Huh? What in Tibet just happened?
It looks like he used the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
You mean the Divine Knowledge Capsule did that to him? Oh, yeah. You mean how some researchers go insane after—
I've heard of numerous incidents of researchers in Satyavada life going insane. The state that man is now in suggests that this Divine Knowledge Capsule does appear to be linked to the gods. But beyond that, it doesn't— Did you hear what he said? World, forget me.
If the mantra took him away, then that means the Academia got the Divine Knowledge Capsule back. Still, Paimon didn't—
As things stand, there is no reason for me to remain in Port Orm.
Oh, we were so busy trying to find the Divine Knowledge Capsule that Paimon forgot to—
Truthfully, I don't. Lesser Lord Kusanali appears to exist outside of Sumeru's entire administration. Moreover, since the Academia possesses the Akasha, a symbol of our deity's wisdom, scholars have no reason to desire to make contact.
Everything about—
I'm heading back to the Academia.
It's almost the day of the Sub-Zero's festival. Maybe we should head back too. We've been rushed off our feet over the past few days, so maybe a little rest and relaxation will do us good. Then we'll part ways here, Al-Haytham, until we meet again.
Now, do I deal with this thing first? Or should I produce the report that the higher-ups require?